Google promised its next flagship AI model in June. It missed. It missed July, too. That's deadline number 3, while 2 rival labs shipped frontier open models this same week for free. By the end, you'll know which one to download tonight instead. Here's the timeline nobody at Google wants you reading closely. At Google I/O in May, Sundar Pichai told developers to give it 1 more month for Gemini 3.5 Pro. June came. Only the smaller Flash model shipped. By mid-July, 9 to 5 Google confirmed it, straight from Google. The company is, quote, currently testing 3.5 Pro with partners. Testing, not shipping. 2 months after the original promise. Bloomberg's reporting says Google retrained Gemini's data in late June, specifically to fix its coding skills. The result, in their own sources' words, disappointing. This isn't a side project slipping. Gemini underwrites Google Search, Android, Workspace, and Cloud. The whole company's AI story rides on this one model line landing on time. And it's not just missed dates. Key researchers are leaving too, including Shazir, a co-author of the T5 and Switch Transformer papers that much of modern AI is built on. That's not a rounding error. That's the people who built the thing walking out. 4 parts in order. The promise Google broke. What's actually broken behind the scenes. The 2 labs that didn't wait around. And exactly what you can download tonight for free. 10 current and former Google employees told Bloomberg how they really feel about this. Wait until you hear what they said. So what is actually broken? Let's open the hood. Here's the irony sitting right under this whole story. As of April, 75% of all new code written at Google is AI-generated and engineer-approved, up from 50% just last fall. Google's own AI already writes most of Google's software. It still can't finish shipping its own flagship model. Even Sundar Pichai has reportedly admitted, in his own words, that Google is a bit behind rivals on agentic coding. Coming from the CEO himself, that 4-word admission tells you more than any press release ever will. Remember those 10 Google employees I mentioned? Bloomberg reports they described the company losing ground to Anthropic and OpenAI. In their own words, not a competitor's spin. That's the loop I opened with. Consider it paid off. Think of it like queuing outside a restaurant that keeps pushing back its opening night. Meanwhile, a food truck already parked next door and started serving dinner. You don't have to keep queuing. Zoom out for a second. OpenAI shipped GPT 5.6 Soul. Anthropic shipped Claude Fable 5. xAI shipped Grok 4.5. Google's answer to all 3 was supposed to be Gemini 3.5 Pro. It's the only one of the 4 that still doesn't exist. 4 major labs promised a 2026 flagship. 3 delivered. Google is the one still stuck at 0. One analyst put it best. In this race, being early helps. Being powerful is essential. And being perceived as slow can move a company's stock price by billions. Google just found that out the hard way. And here's the turn nobody saw coming. While Google was testing, 2 completely different labs shipped frontier-class open models in the same 7 days. 0 versus 2. That's the scoreboard this week. 1 company waited, 2 didn't. Meet the 2 labs that didn't wait around for Google. First, Moonshot AI's Kimi K3. 2.8 trillion parameters. Launched July 16th. The largest open-weight model anyone has ever released. Second, Thinking Machines Inkling. 975 billion total parameters. Only 41 billion active at once. Released 1 day earlier on July 15th. Here's the actual Hugging Face page, live the same day as the announcement. Full benchmark tables, public. Model weights, public. Even quantized GGUF builds for local hardware, public. Not coming soon, already there. Independent benchmarks. 77.6% on SWE Bench Verified. 97.1 on AIM 2026. 87.2 on GPQA Diamond. Scored the same week Google was still testing. On the Artificial Analysis Intelligence Index, Inkling scores 41, ahead of Nematron 3 Ultra's 38, Gemma 4's 29, and GPT-OSS's 24. The new leading US open weight model. Full stop. And this isn't a lab grading its own homework. Artificial analysis is an independent scoreboard, the same one everyone in this story gets measured on. And Inkling isn't just a coding model. 73.3% on vision, 91.4% on voice, 98.6% on its safety refusal test. Text, image, and audio, natively in one open model. Zoom all the way out, and the trend is bigger than one delay. OneTracker's verdict? The open versus closed gap now reads as roughly one model generation, not several. Kimi K3 trails Claude Fable 5 by just 5.4 points on Frontier SWE. Inkling sits 17 points behind on pure coding. Real gap, but closing fast. 48 hours. That's all it took for two separate labs to both ship Frontier open models back to back, while Google's flagship sat in testing. But here's the catch nobody's saying loudly enough. Kimi K3's actual weights aren't public yet. Moonshot promised July 27th. Today isn't that day. So what can you actually run tonight? Let's be honest about that. Now for the honest part. Because hype without honesty is how the last channel lost your trust. Full precision Inkling needs 2 terabytes of VRAM. Quantized down 600 gigabytes. Even the smallest 1-bit build wants a serious home lab, not a laptop. Same honesty for Kimi. Its weights land July 27th. Mark that date. Don't download something that doesn't exist yet. Simon Willison actually tested Kimi K3 himself. On his Long Horizon Knowledge Work benchmark, it scores an ELO of 1547, 732 points above its predecessor. That's independent verification, not a press release. Here's the trend underneath all of this. Inference cost for Frontier-class capability has fallen roughly 10 times a year, 2 years running. Waiting on Google isn't just slow, it's the wrong bet on where the entire market is headed. Here's the number that actually matters. On agentic tasks, Inkling scores 1238, ahead of Kimi K2.6 and DeepSeek's fastest model. And it does it using fewer tokens than either one. That's the model you can download right now, tonight, for free. The recipe, start to finish? Search Hugging Face for Inkling. Pick the quantized GGUF build that actually fits your rig, and point any local inference engine at the file. $0. Available tonight, not on July 27th. So, to recap the whole story in one breath, 3 missed deadlines from the richest AI lab on the planet, 2 Frontier open models that didn't wait for permission from anyone, and one of them sitting free for download tonight. That's the actual choice tonight. Keep waiting on a promise with no date, or run the model that already exists. Why keep waiting on a promise Google itself hasn't kept 3 separate times now? You don't have to. The open alternative is already public, independently benchmarked, and running on real hardware right now. If this saved you from waiting on a company that can't hit its own deadline, subscribe back. That's the whole trade. And if you want the full story on Kimi K3 shipping while Google stalled, that video's linked right there. I'll see you in the next one.